Well, welcome. My name is Keith Hensley with CoreLogic, and some of you might have known me or recognized me because I've done these monthly webinars for a couple of years now. And plus, I've been there in Martin County doing training, in-person training. We have like a one-on-one class and a 201 class and things like that that I train on, but we also do these webinars. So thank you for being here. I don't know if you've been here before. I think Gail's been here before. I think I've seen some other names before. So thank you for coming back. But today we're going to talk about the app called MLS Touch. And what I'm going to do first is kind of just a few PowerPoint slides to remind you how to install it and how to log in the first time. And then after that, I'm going to pull up my cell phone on here, and I'm going to put it on the screen for you so we can all see my cell phone, and we're going to do this live here. We're also going to, we've also had an update to MLS Touch. It's called MLS Touch version 4.0. So if you've not used MLS Touch, well, welcome. You're jumping right in with a brand new update. If you have used MLS Touch, don't freak out thinking that, oh, great, an update, now everything's changed. I'm going to have to learn everything new and things like that. There's not much change, okay? If anything, it's just a little visual change, a little graphical change. And I'm going to explain that as we go through this here. So without further ado, let's start with how do you install MLS Touch? You've got it installed on your mobile device, whether it's an iPad or an Android tablet or your Android phone or your iPhone. I'm actually having an iPhone today. So I'm going to show you how it looks on an iPhone. It shouldn't look that much different on an Android out there. In fact, I'll try to point out a couple places there. So install it on your phone. What you're going to do, you're going to go to your App Store or your Google Play Store. If you have an iPhone, you're going to use the App Store. If you have an Android, you're going to go to the Google Play Store. And when you go to either of those stores, you're just going to do a simple search for this app called MLS Touch, and it's got the little white background with the 4 bars. In fact, you can see it over here on a little screenshot of what it looks like on a cell phone here, okay? So that's what you're going to do. Easy, very simple. We've all installed apps, hopefully, in there, so you install it, and it's there on your phone. Now, how do you log into it? Well, once you've installed it, you're just going to open up that app on your phone. And the first thing it's going to ask you is, what state are you in? And you're going to pick Florida. You're going to scroll, use the little wheel or dial and until you get to the state of Florida. And then you're going to hit next. And then it's going to say, well, which MLS in the state of Florida are you using? And some of you might actually belong to multiple Florida accounts, Martin County and maybe Beaches or Stellar or wherever else you want to. And you can see in here, we have some other ones in the background here. I will also say, if you do belong to multiple MLSs that have MLS Touch, you do have to log out of the one and then log into the other one. There is no way to connect them both. I really wish there was. It's just that different MLSs have different fields and different business rules, and we just can't combine both of them into one app called MLS Touch. So you do have to log out of one and then log into the other if you belong to multiple ones. But for now, we're just going to stick with Martin County Realtors of the Treasure Coast, which I have highlighted, and then you're going to hit confirm. And just like when you log into Matrix, it's going to take you to the login screen here, and you're just going to type in the same user ID and password that you log into Matrix, because that's what MLS Touch does. It actually pulls its information, all the details out of your Matrix system there and down into the app called MLS Touch. So you're just going to use the same login. And once you log in, it takes you to the home page, and that's where we're at right now. And as you can see, if you've logged into MLS Touch before, this is the new version of it here, and I'm going to show you. So if you don't have the new version, pay attention, and I'm going to talk about how you can get that new version if you don't have it already. So this is, for those who never had it before, well, this is what the old version used to look like last week, okay? Well, Monday came out to have the new version of MLS Touch. Well, two ways to get the new version. When I logged in on Monday, I thought, well, great. All I have to do is log in on Monday morning and boom, it should be there. And it wasn't. I logged in, I still saw the old version. So I asked the question, how do I get the new version? Well, they said, well, one way is to just uninstall the app, just completely remove the app from my phone and then reinstall it. That's one way. And knowing me, I love new toys. I want to play with the new version of stuff. And especially for this webinar today, I needed it. So I deleted the app off my phone and I reinstalled it. And when I logged in, boom, there was the new version. Okay, so that's probably the first and easiest way to get the new version is just to completely uninstall it from your mobile device and then reinstall it and you'll be there. The other way is just simply wait, because when this got released, we sent it to the App Store and the Google Play Store, but they don't release it to the entire world all at once. They kind of just do it in little phases there, and they do that on purpose so that way if they released it to the entire world would probably be downloading it at the same time, and it probably crushed the App Store or the Google Play Store. So they're just doing it in little phases there. So your phase may not be until tomorrow or Thursday or Friday. Usually it's done throughout the whole week. So if you just wait it out, by the time you log in, probably by the end of the week, it would automatically update it to the new version there. Okay, so that's just a little way of getting it there. But before I actually lose this screen here, there's two people I need to admit. My bad. I didn't see that there. Okay, there we go. We got someone joining us now. Okay. So as you can see here, let me kind of, Renee, I just got Gail logged in. I didn't notice that she was up there and I had to admit her, so.
Oh, there's Gail. Is that Keith?
Yeah, hi Gail.
Hi.
Got you on there, good. Sorry about that. I was supposed to admit you and I forgot to hit admit. So, okay, here we go. It is being recorded, Gail, so if you want to mute yourself, but unmute yourself if you have questions, okay?
Yes.
I just say that so we don't have a lot of background noise and stuff like that. In fact, I see two more people joining us here. Marsh and Jean. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Okay, cool. Okay. So this is the old version. This is a new way. And I know some people just joined.
Registered with to get considered for listing.
Hey,
we have massive backlogs of listings on the books from even before the pandemic, and that's only just multiplied. So here's
Marsh, could you mute yourself?
I want you to do exactly.
That's all right. And Gail, you might want to mute yourself too. And Jean,
I can't find the mute button. Wait a minute.
It should be at the very bottom left. Should be on the bottom left there. There you go. Thanks, Gail. And Jean, same thing. I can't hear you, Jean, so that's good news. But I just want to make sure, just in case you say something, it is being recorded. So, but anyone, unmute yourself at any time, okay? If you have questions. Okay, and go figure, I'm getting a phone call at the same time I'm about to do this webinar here. But here's the old version, here's the new version. So a couple of you came in a few minutes late here, so just let me recap it real quick. If you currently have the old version, you could remove the version off your cell phone and then reinstall MLS Touch. That's probably the quickest and best way to get the new version of MLS Touch, is just remove it and reinstall it there, okay? The other way is just kind of wait it out. You'll log in day after day, and one day you'll log in and it'll say, hey, there's a new version, let me update it. And that's the way to get it. So you can either wait and your App Store or Google Play Store will reinstall it, or just remove it and log in again, okay? But let me talk about the changes here just in case, because I'm sure there's some people on here that have used the old version and you're kind of wondering what's new in the new version. Well, you can see in the new version, it actually says hi test user, or it'll say hi and your name there. I'm using a test user account, so that's my name today is test user. So this would say hi and your name. Then you got these two options here, and I'll show you what those two options do when I log into the system. After that, you see map search. Well, you got map search. You got advanced search. You got advanced search. You got save search. You got save search. You got favorites. You got favorites. You got hot sheet. You got hot sheet. You got insta view. You got insta view. You got search by number, MLS number search. So you got everything that you had before, except for one thing you might notice is missing. My listings. It's not really missing. It's just missing off of this screen right here. You'll see my listings when you click on your name up here, or when you go to more. That's how you get into my listings. So you didn't really lose my listings. We just kind of moved it off of this home screen, and I don't know why they did. I actually kind of liked it there, but so that's the probably the first and most obvious change is this home page. It might scare people when they first see it, thinking everything's changed, and it's really not. Okay. Down at the bottom, you can still see home and search, and then members is moved over here, and then contacts right there, and then a more button and a more button there. Okay. So other than that, it hasn't really changed that much inside of the new version. Okay. Okay. One last thing I want to talk about when I show you MLS Touch today, there's going to be a branding feature. I don't know if you've heard of brand and share inside of MLS Touch. It's a really cool feature that not only can you brand MLS Touch, but you can share the app with your clients and customers, and even generate new leads from it there. And I'm going to talk about that near the end of today's class. But when you go in and brand it, and branding means you can put your company logo on there, you can put your company color schemes on there. And what that does, it actually brands the client portal also. And that client portal is called One Home. Does that look familiar for some of you that have been using Matrix? As you use Matrix and you email listings to your clients, this is what your clients see. They see a client portal, and we call it One Home. Well, if you notice, One Home has this generic branding here. It's got this teal color at the top and in the background of my picture here, or your picture. And it has this logo up here called One Home. Well, today when you go into MLS Touch and you brand it, it's also going to brand One Home. And it's going to look something like this. It's going to have your logo that you uploaded, and it's going to have your color scheme, the red and the gray, that you have inside of, or whatever color scheme you've got inside of One Home and inside of MLS Touch. So yes, we're talking about MLS Touch, the app, but it's also going to affect your client's portal called One Home. So that's where I wanted to go to. And I will show it to you when I get in. So let me close this down. So that was all just to kind of set the stage for us. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring my cell phone over. And hopefully everyone can see my cell phone. And hopefully I don't get a phone call again. In fact, let me make sure I've got, yeah, I got on Do Not Disturb. So I don't know why that cell phone came through. Okay. So like I said, when you go to your app store or your Google Play Store and you install the app called MLS Touch, it puts it right there. Now, when you double click on it, or I'm sorry, when you click on it, it's going to log you in. Okay. And remember, you're going to pick the state of Florida. You're going to choose Martin County, Realtors of the Treasure Coast, or MCRTC. And then you're going to enter your user ID and password. And when you do that, it takes you right here to the MLS Touch app here. Okay. Now that you're here, let me kind of show you. Remember I showed you in my screenshot, I had a little picture of myself right here. Well, when you tap on that, that's what it takes you to. Okay. And I'm going to show you where you can put your picture at. Now I'm using a test account, so I don't have a picture installed. So just kind of remember that. I think you're going to want your picture here or your company logo here. And you'll see why when we share this app, because when you share it with the customers and clients, they're going to see your picture or your company logo, whatever you put in there. Okay. And so I think we're all salespeople. We're all in the business of selling stuff, and marketing is a huge role in real estate as a realtor and stuff. So I think you want to market yourself or brand yourself as much as possible. So just kind of remember, I'm going to show you where that photo comes from. Okay. So down here, I'm just going to hit the more button. And how I got there was by clicking on that little TA1 right there. That's my initials, test account 1. That's my initials. Down here where it says more, if I tap on it, guess what? It takes me to the same spot there. So that's the first thing I want to show you, is that and that more button both take you to the same location. And remember on the home page here, remember I said my listings, that button was moved. Remember the old version had it, but the new version doesn't have my listings here. Well, when you tap on your name, my listings is right there. So when you tap on it, we didn't lose it. It's just moved location, and there it is. Now I don't have any listings, so hopefully you do, but I don't. So that's where we moved it. So once again, it's under more, and you hit my listings, and there's how you find it there. Other than that, everything on the home page is exactly where it was in the old version there. Now, what I like to do, oh, that envelope right there, by the way, that's messages. So if you tap on that, this is messages. Now, something inside of the app called MLS Touch, when you can share it with your clients, and your clients can have their own version of MLS Touch, a client version of it, and you two can message each other from their app to your MLS Touch app. That's what this is right here. It's messages that you're communicating between your app and their app back and forth there. Okay. So that's messages right there.
Can I ask a question about messages?
Sure can.
So how do you know a message has come in? Do you get a notification, or do you have to keep opening MLS Touch?
No, great question, Gene. Watch this. If I tap on the more button, by default, it should be turned on. Okay, so in fact, when you first install it, it'll probably ask you, do you want us to alert you? Yes or no? And sometimes, you know what? I don't know about you, but I see that message, and sometimes I'm too afraid to say yes to give permission without knowing what it is. So sometimes I say no to it. Well, just to double check it, you can come down to this more button, go into settings right here, and then when you go to notifications, you can check them. Messages from contacts, make sure that's turned on. New leads, I would make sure that's turned on, and I will show you how to get new leads. New contact favorites, because when your clients save a favorite, whether they're in One Home or the client app that you share with them, and they save it as a favorite, it could alert you also here. So I like turning that one on. And new contacts discarded. That means if a contact discards a listing, whether it's in One Home or the app, do you want to be notified also? Maybe not that one. That's your call. I'm going to leave it on though. But these others, I definitely leave it on. So great question, Gene. That's how you get notified. So then.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Larry, I deleted and I uploaded the new app while you were talking earlier. But now it asks me to enter your code, the access code. Please enter the code provided by your real estate agent.
Yeah, you installed this app called MLS Client. That's the wrong app. You don't want that
Oh,
one
I
there.
did.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it looks so
That's
much like the other one.
It does. And what I'm going to do here, I'm actually, and thank you for saying that. I know you're not the first one to do that one either. So let me.
Oh, okay.
Let me put them side by side here. That's what your clients are going to get when you share it. That's what you want. That's what they get. Yeah.
That's what I had before, and I thought, oh, that must be the new look. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks,
I'll
Larry.
redo that. I'll do that.
Good. Thanks, Larry. You're welcome. Hey, two great questions, you guys. I like that. So if you do, and guess what? Your clients will be able to do the same thing. They'll be able to go into their version of the app, and this is what they get. And Larry was correct. The very first thing it says, what's your code? Well, we're going to talk about that code here. They have a more button here too. So your clients can go in and they can turn on preferences. I think it's preferences. Yeah. Preferences. And they can turn on notifications. Where am I missing this at? Maybe I'm missing this here. My agent. Preferences. There should be preferences on here too, or notifications. I know they get prompted. Do they want to allow notifications there? So bottom line is if you have your notifications turned on, you'll have a little red badge up here, and it'll have 1, 2, or 3, or 5, or 10, or 20, or however many messages or new alerts you've got there. Just like when you get a new text message, don't we have a little indicator up there? Well, it's going to be the same thing. It's just going to be on the app. So that's how you know you got a new message. You need something to go check out there. Okay. So great question there. So let's see here. We've got
I've got it, by the way.
you
Thanks.
do? Okay, good. Thanks, Larry.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's that little box there. That's only good between you and whoever's installed your app. If you never installed the app with anyone, you just, when you click on it, you won't see anything. See, I've only had one person install my app, and there you go. So, okay. What I like to do is I like to start with these bottom two ones and kind of work our way up, because these top two, advanced search and map search, are probably the biggest places you're going to be working in. And I like to work my way up to there, because some of these are kind of really short and sweet and to the point. InstaView is really cool. When you install the app, another thing it'll ask you, besides alerting you on a new notification, it also asks you, is it okay if we know your location device? I think with MLS Touch, you should always say yes, allow my location to be shared with MLS Touch, because as you pull up searches, you could drive in front of a house for sale that has a sign up, and as long as it's inside a matrix here, and you're within 410 feet of that property, all you have to do is hit that button right there, and it's going to say, oh, you're talking about that house right there. Okay. In fact, some people say, well, just point your phone at that house and hit that button, and it'll tell you what that listing is, how much is for sale, and all that stuff. Guess what? Your clients get this too. They get an InstaView. So we both have an InstaView button, and all you have to do is point it at the house and click, and it'll tell you what that listing is. Now, I'm in Grand Rapids, Michigan today. So guess what? I'm not going to find any houses near me because I'm so far away. But if you're driving around town, just make sure you have this app up, and all you have to do is when you pull outside the house, just point and click, and it'll tell you what that house is, how much is listed for. Okay. Hot sheet. Now I have Matrix open in the background for a reason, and because there's a lot of things that synchronize back and forth between MLS Touch and Matrix here. One thing that does not sync though is hot sheet. The hot sheet here that you have here is not the same hot sheet that's in MLS Touch. Now, hopefully someday we can make it the same, but right now they're two different hot sheets, but they both pretty much work the same way. So just like this hot sheet, is designed, and by the way, it's kind of like your market watch too. Okay, your market watch and your hot sheet are both designed to show you new listings that are coming soon, or price change, or back on the market, or sold, things like that. Well, that's what this hot sheet is. And when you tap on that hot sheet, in fact, the very first time you click on it, it might ask you, pick your location. So if you've never done that before, when you click on change location, it'll probably ask you, what's your location? What areas do you work in? And then what you can do is, search for cities like Stewart's. Maybe that's one of your areas you work in. Maybe you also like to look in Hobe Sound. Oop, it would help if I spell right. Maybe you also want Palm City. So you're just going to pick the areas or the towns that you like, that are you're interested in. So once you do that, and then pay attention up here. How far back do you want to look in the last day, 3 days, 5 days? And what it's going to do is going to show you all the coming soons, all the active listings, all the pendings, all the closed, all the price changes, increased or decreased in the last 5 days for those cities that you said. You can even change your property type too. Like me, I only have residential here. Yeah, I don't really care too much about the other property types. So that's your call. So now when I click on coming soon, these are the 7 coming soon. Do you see right there, 7? In the last 5 days in those cities that I chose. Okay, and here they are. So it's just a way of me staying on top of my market area that I work every day. So I can kind of see what's changed price or changed statuses. That's what the hot sheet is for. Okay. So that's there. I would go in and customize it to your locations, your cities that you work in, and you can always change it back and forth as often as you want there. My and by the way, let me pull up hot sheet again. Whenever you pull up any properties inside of MLS Touch and you tap on one, and you tap on one, do you see that star right there? That star is your way of saving it as a favorites. Okay, and see this listing on 4th Lane in Vero Beach? Let me go back out. When I go to favorites right here, that listing is right there. Do you see it? So what if I want to get rid of it now? What if I want to take it out of my favorites? Well, just tap on that star and it goes away. And then when I go back out, that listing shouldn't be in my favorites anymore. Okay, so that's just a way of tagging listings as a favorite. So that way, if you want to remember it, that you got to do something, that's your favorites. Search by number. This is where if someone calls you up and they say, hey, Keith, I saw this listing. It's M2002, whatever, whatever, whatever. You can just type it in. You can type in up to 10 of them there. Okay, so I'll just close that down.
Okay,
Save.
can I ask a question about that?
Yeah.
Because some of the MLS feeds don't, they have RA. Which feeds feed into this and what can't?
Yeah, you got Martin County, so those will be the M's. You'll have Beaches MLS, and I believe that is R, I think. You'll have Miami, and I think that's A out there. I think that's it for us. Now, if you're a member of Beaches or Miami, their numbers start off with a different number there, and I don't know those, so you'll have to talk to them. But in Martin County, so whenever you do a search here, and I'll pull up some listings here real quick here. Come on, there we go. Yeah, ours are Beaches. I don't know what F is. A is Miami. F might be Beaches also. I'm not sure. And then M is Martin County out there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So that's your numbering system. Save searches. So whenever, and you're going to see me do a map search and advanced search here soon. So whenever I go in and do a map search, or I put in a price range, a city, a subdivision, bedrooms, bathrooms, I'll always have the opportunity to save it as a saved search. And when I do, they'll show up here. Okay. But look what else you get. You get searches from Matrix right here. So save searches in Matrix. 6 of them will be here also. Okay. Now they only go one way, which means it goes from Matrix to MLS Touch. They don't go from MLS Touch to Matrix. Okay. So knowing that, you could originally do your searching in Matrix, save it as a save search. And by the way, auto emails don't come into Matrix or MLS Touch, just save searches. So once you save it there, then they'll be here in MLS Touch there. Okay. But you also have searches that you started and saved directly from MLS Touch. So that's what that is there. So that leads me to these top 2 ones. Well, let's start with advanced search here first. When I touch on advanced search, look at the 3 columns that you have up here. You can do a city, county, or a subdivision. Underneath subdivision, the second line down is address. When I click on county or parish, the second one down is address. When I go to city, the second one down is address. So no matter what 3 tabs you've got, you can quickly do an address search right here. So if I knew there was a listing, and let's say I knew it was on, in fact, let me pull up one of these searches here. Let me find an address, Fox Cross Place. See Fox Cross? If I go right here and I do a search, I can just do Fox Cross. Oop, spell check changed it for me. There we go, let's try it again. Foxcross. When I do that, see, there's some of the Foxcross. That's 876 Foxcross Way. Oh, that's just a different search. But anyways, see, I found the search. I found all the listings in Foxcross right there. I didn't even type in a street number. I just said street name. I can also do just a street number. Oop. So let me pick a street number, 5643. 5643, hit search, and all properties, all listings that start with the number 5643 will be there. So Foxcross, there's Foxcross right there, 5643. Okay. So now it's even better. Wouldn't you imagine, wouldn't it be better if I did 5643 Foxcross? Okay. So the more you do, obviously, the better it'll be. And there it is. There's 5643 Foxcross there. So the address search is really, really nice. It works really nice there. Okay. So that was under advanced search. Okay. Address. But remember, city. And go in here, pick my cities. In fact, I can just type in a city right up here and do like Palm City and hit done and then hit apply. Or I could go to county. When I open this up, what county do I want to search for? Or I can go to subdivision, and when I tap on subdivision, okay, I can start typing my subdivision there. Now your subdivision is you type it in, so it's not a pick list. So you got to type it in here that you do. So underneath the city, so let me do Palm City again. Then you can do property type. Do you want everything or all residential? Or do you want just single family and condos? Commercial, business, land, residential income. Okay. So I'll just leave it at condo and single family and hit apply. Then you could do for sale and rent. Do you want both? Or do you just want for sale? Do you want price? You know, what's your lowest price? What's your maximum? Let's do up to 500 to a million there. Then you got beds, baths, beds and baths. So right there is 3+. It's kind of hard to see that on that screen. It's like it's kind of whitewashed there. Then there's 2+ there. Lot size, listing status. Right now, if I go to listing status, I've got coming soon and all active. You could say, you know what? I'll take pending too. Oop. Not all pending, but just pending, not pending with contingency. And then if you do solds, like all solds or rented and leased there, pay attention. I'm going to hit apply up here. I'm not going to pick it. But if you did pick solds here, then you might want to use the since field. This is your date range. How far back of solds do you want? Because I don't think you want of all time. Okay, now you could, but I think you're going to want to change it to 2 years back on solds, or 1 year, or 6 months, or 3 months, or 2 months. But I think you're going to want to filter that down a little bit there. Okay, but I didn't do solds. I only did active and coming soon and pending. You can do show open houses, show payoff, year built, short sale. But if that's not enough criteria, you can hit more criteria right here. And then you can do waterfronts, pool, private pools, and some of those other fields there. Okay.
Keith, I have a quick question.
Okay. Go for it, Tom.
Yes. How did you get to advanced search?
Sure. Right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I lost track there. I left the room for a second. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Yeah, just hit advanced search. And then I was under city, and I'm just going to do Palm City. City. Oop. Right there. Oop. Done. Apply. Then I did property type. I just said single family and condo. Then I said sale. Price, I just think I did 500 to a million. Okay. Then listing status, coming soon, active. I'll do pending. And that's good enough. I'm just going to hit search right there. And then once you do this, look up here, 117 results right there. And here are the 117 listings. If I go to map, it'll map those 117 listings. If I zoom in, watch that 117 change. Maybe. I guess it did. Okay, maybe it does on a different screen. I thought it changed. Yeah, here it goes. Yeah, 36 now. So if I zoom back out, now it's 57. If I hit list, there's the 57. If I go back to map, now I can zoom in a little closer. Reduces the 20. Now if I go to list, there's the 20. If I hit stats, it's going to show me the stats, the statistics of those 20 listings. Okay. So you're going to have those tabs almost always up there for you. So this is you're going to see this over and over again. You're going to have the results here. Up here, it'll show you filters. So if I click on filters, that's pretty much the advanced search right there. So let me hit close. So I came in from a map search, but you can still hit filters. And now I could put in a price range, beds and bathrooms and stuff like that there. And stats. So actually, you know what? I'm not on the map search yet. I thought it was. My bad there. Okay. So when I did my search, there they are. And look down here. Do you see save search? Every time you do a search, you'll always have this option right here called save search. So at any time, if you want to save this, just give it a name and it'll show up in your save search area there. Okay. So let me hit cancel there. And let me back up. So if I did save that, I didn't. If I did, it would have been right here under save search, and it would have been whatever I called it, and it would have today's date there. Okay. So that's what save search, that's what advanced search is. If I hit map search, it's going to be very similar to advanced search. Okay. But when I first click on it, it takes me to the map. Now, this is something I should have thought about before I started this webinar. Guess where I'm at right now? Well, didn't I tell you I'm outside of Grand Rapids, Michigan? That's where I live. So it pulled up my location so everyone can see where I live here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get in a plane real quick and fly down to Florida. And I wish it was that quick because.
I live in Grand Rapids too.
Are you serious?
I do. In the summer.
Oh, okay. What part of Grand Rapids? Serious?
Right downtown.
Oh,
River
sweet.
House.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so they're building do you hear about the crab shack or Charlie's Crab? They're rebuilding it and stuff. They're going to tear it down and stuff.
Yeah.
And so
The
yeah.
12,000 square foot or 12,000 stadiums along the river for the
For outdoors. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, good. All right, Larry.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I'll have to look for you in the summertime then. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I do come down there every month, so I'm down there too every month. So where am I at here? Hope Sound. There we go. Yeah, there we go. I just lost my bearings there. Okay. So cool, sweet. So there you go. So remember when you first click on it, it should remember where you last left off, but I just reinstalled the app before this webinar, so it was pulling me up in Grand Rapids or Jenison where I live here. But watch this. I want to talk about these three options over here. Now, I have an iPhone. If you have an iPhone, you're going to have the same three in the upper right of the map here. If you have an Android, I think you only have one up there in the corner. Your one is like three boxes on top of each other. Okay, it's called a layers. You'll still have the pencil and you'll still have this, but they're going to be down here at the bottom here. This arrow will be down here. It'll be like a circle with a cross, like a target, you know, crosshairs sign on there. But both of those do the same thing. So watch what happens when I hit that arrow. It finds me. It finds me. I call it the find me button because when you hit that, as long as you're allowing your GPS location, it's going to take you right to where you're physically at. And you're going to be that little blue dot right there. Okay. So I have to get back in the plane again and fly back down to Stuart, Florida, or wherever I want to be. Okay. I'm going to zoom in a little closer there. Okay. So that's the find me button. I really like that because, if you're not, especially if you're not good with maps, you just hit that button, it'll take you right where you're at there. You'll have a pencil there too. Now remember, Android users, you're going to have the pencil down here, bottom right. But when you tap that pencil, it turns dark. And now I can just use my finger and draw the shape of where I want to be. I want listings there. If I made a mistake, just hit that pencil again and it erases it. Hit the pencil again, becomes dark again, and now you can just draw your shape again. Okay? And just
Can
keep
you
your
put your phone over a little to the left because it's half covered up with the pictures? There.
I
Oh,
gotcha.
thank you.
No,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome. Thank you. No, that good. You're right. That thing is, yeah. Yeah. So thank you for reminding me. Yeah, there you go. So just hit that pencil. See that pencil there? Tap it again. It's dark. And now I can draw my shape again. Yeah, cool. Okay. Now remember, if I draw my shape, then I can go up to filters right there. And I can type in my, property type, for sale, price range, beds, and then hit search there. Okay. I'm just going to hit cancel there. So that's the Find Me button. That's the drawing tool. This one up here, remember if you're on an Android, it's not the eye with the circle. It's the 3 squares on top of each other. But if you tap it, it gives you your map settings. You can change from the map view to the satellite view. And now you can look at listings this way in the satellite view. I think it's a little easier in the map view here. Watch what happens. Pay attention in the background. When I turn on schools, watch what happens in the background. Let me turn it off. Actually, they're still there. But pay attention. There's a little green. Here, let me close this down here. See right here? The little mortar board. That's what it did. So when I turn that off, look at that. They're still there. Huh. They should go away when I have it turned off. Okay. But anyways, if you tap on it, it'll tell you what school that is. And it's just not high schools or middle schools. I mean, this looks like this is a preschool right there. Okay. So this will show you all kinds of schools out there. New Horizons Computer Learning right there. Okay. So I kind of like that feature. It's really cool. I just don't know why it doesn't refresh. See, it still has them there, even though I turned it off there. If I hit that again, you've got parcel boundary lines. Now, I think you should leave parcel boundary lines on, but let me skip the flood zones here real quick. When I turn on flood zones, don't you think flood zones are important to know in Florida there?
Yeah.
There they are. There's your flood zones. Okay. You can pull that legend up and it kind of shows you the legend there. So just imagine driving around town, pulling outside of a property, let's say you're on Southeast Villa Street right here. You can see, what the flood zones are in that neighborhood there. Okay. But watch this. Do you see the parcel boundary lines on there? They're the little boxes, that's parcels. And I'm seeing that, and let me turn off my flood zones because I have my parcel boundaries turned on. If I turn it off, it should go away. Yeah, they stay there. So yeah, so I don't know if it's my phone or this new version or what, but they stay there even though I turned it off. But I'm going to leave it on. Okay, watch this. Have any of you used Realist Tax in Matrix before? Okay, we are the same company, Matrix, Realist Tax. Now we're not IMAP. IMAP is a competitor of ours, and MLS Touch. All 3 of those have Realist in it. Okay, so if I tap on any one of those parcel records, it shows me the lot dimensions and it's getting it from Realist. And look at the tax information down here. I can tap on any property and it's going to show me all that data. So watch this. I'm just going to drive down the street here. I'm going to tap on one. It shows me the lot dimensions of that property, shows me who owns it. The owner is Kyle Neff right there. That's his address. This is all the legal. So you've got tax information inside of MLS Touch also. Okay. And that's how we got the flood zones because we have the Realist tax information in there. So that is really cool. And let me see if I can find one that has been listed before. And the reason why, you'll see right down here underneath the address, it'll say MLS listing 1 or 2 or 3. So let me see if I can find one in here real quick. Here, I'll just pull up one of these here. There we go. Oops, sorry. Because I know that one's listed. You know what? I don't see that there. We need to work on that there. There should be MLS listing. It should say like 1 right there because, I mean, that one's listed, right? There you go. So it should be in there. So I don't, I'll have to look at that. I don't know why that's not showing up there. So I'm just going to pull up another property. Come on. Okay. Doesn't want to work to me now. Maybe I insulted it and it's mad at me now. So, okay. Let me erase this. In fact, yeah, let me erase that shape there. Let's try this again. I'm tapping on it and it's not opening up for me. Huh. Okay. But you saw it work, so so there you go. Okay, so any questions? Map search. Map search just obviously takes you right to the map, and now you can still go to list and see them.
Yeah, just, excuse.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, so I'm on the map search, and you said you can go to the parcel like you can on the normal one, but when I try to hit that, I can't get up the dimensions of a lot. How'd you do that again?
Yeah, all I did, you have to zoom in somewhat close to it, and then
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
a little closer, because if you're zoomed out a little farther, it's kind of hard to know what you're touching on because now you got like 5 parcels, you know, so you have to zoom in a little close, not too close.
All right, now I got the dimensions.
Okay.
So if I click it again, I can get the
No,
owner and the,
no, it
no?
should have came up like this here. And
Yeah, I
mine,
got that.
you got this down here too?
Yeah, I got
Okay, then
that.
you can slide that up. There's the owner's name.
Well,
Yeah. So
all
when
right, I'll fuss with that later. Don't worry
okay,
about it.
but as soon as you tap on it, you should get a little sneak peek of it down here. That's what you should see. So if you're not, maybe try it again, maybe log out, log back in, but it should be there where you just
Oh, I
tap.
see it. Okay, it
You
popped
got it?
up. There
Okay,
it goes.
okay,
Yep, there it goes. I got it.
okay, good. I will say the very first time you install it, it seems like you almost have to do it a couple
Yeah,
times, and then the second time it works. I don't know
it
why.
was, yeah, it was exactly. It was all delayed.
Okay, yeah, it's delayed. I mean, you even saw it on mine. Mine was kind of delayed there a little bit too. So, but
Okay,
yeah, you just tap on it and it should open up there.
yep, thank you.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. I mean, any property, not just the ones that are listed. It's your tax system there. Okay. Now, let me go back and pull up a search again real quick. Let me get a handful of listings. Okay. I got 15 matches right here. So if I go to list, here are those 15 listings. Now remember, I can go to filters and I can say, I don't want all property type. I only want single family property types. Then hit apply and then hit search. Now I'm only down to 4. Do you guys see 4 right there? So I'm going to go back to map and zoom back out a little bit. I want a little bit more than 4. Okay, now I've got 9 right there. So now I'm going to go back to the list, and there are those 4 residential or single family houses, or the 9, I'm sorry, 9. Okay, now I want to show you what can you do with these 9 listings. Well, if you look right here, that little traffic light, or we call it a snowman up here in Grand Rapids, don't we, Larry? Especially this time of year. So yeah, you just hit that little traffic light or ellipsis, I think it might be called. And now it'll say, well, what do you want to do? Choose an action. Do you want to add any of these to your favorites? Do you want to email any of these? Do you want to text any of these to your clients? Do you want to add any of these to your cart? So let's say I go to text or send by SMS. Now it's going to ask me, which ones do you want to text to your client? So I go through here and I just pick a handful of these. And then I hit done. And it'll say, which of your contacts, remember these contacts here? These are the same contacts that you'll have in Matrix here. These people are the same people over here. Okay. I will say this, I could stand corrected on this. If you have someone like Allison Beach, in fact, you know what? I don't notice Allison over here. You know why? They've got to have three things. They've got to have a first name, last name, and an email address. Well, this right here, I do not see Allison Beach in my contact list. You know why? She doesn't have number 3. She doesn't have an email address. So if I tap on her name here, I can still text it to Allison, but that's why Allison is not in my contact list, because Allison doesn't have an email address. So if you are missing contacts from Matrix and MLS Touch, is because they don't have all three: a first name, last name, and an email address. Okay. So when I go and I want to text this listing, now I can just hit that plus sign right here. And see, I didn't have Allison's phone number or email address. That's why it's asking me right here to type it in. Well, I could hit the plus sign and then look for Allison right here. Okay. I'm going to get back to contacts. And you know what? I don't think I have Allison in here. Yeah, I do right there. Allison Beach. Okay. I'm going to, yes, ma'am. Okay. I thought someone had quit. Okay. So that's how you can text it or email to someone. Let me show you something here. This is going to get into our carts. I don't know if any of you have ever taken any of my training classes or webinars that I've done, but there is one that I've at times I've talked about, and it's this thing called a cart. Matrix has a cart. A cart is like a file folder. A file folder is where you store things and save things. So let's say there's 3 listings in here that I sent to Allison. Now Allison replies to me and says, Keith, can we go see those 3 properties? So let's say I set up a showing to go show those 3 properties. What I like a cart to do, I like to keep track of every house that I go show. So if I go show Allison 3 properties, what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit that little ellipse up there, and I'm going to add it to Allison's cart, because I want to keep track of every property I'm going to show Allison. So when I hit add to cart, now it says, okay, what 3 properties do you want to add to cart? Okay, so I pick the 3 properties, I hit done, and it says, okay, whose cart do you want to add this to? I could add it to Bob's, and he's already got 7, so 3 more would put 10 in there. I've already got 1 for Yvette, and she's got 1 in there, so I could add it to Yvette's. Do I see Yvette? Yeah, there's Yvette down there. Okay, but I'm going to pick Allison. When I picked Allison, she doesn't have a cart. Not a problem. You see the add button right there? I'm going to add a cart for her. Then it says, well, what do you want to call that cart? I'm going to call it houses shown. Or maybe I call it houses to be shown, because maybe I want to remember I need to set up a showing on these 3 properties for Allison. So maybe I call it houses to show. Okay. However you want to do it there. Oop. Houses to show. I know it's for Allison, so I have no worries about remembering who I have to show these properties for. Who is it for? Because it's for Allison. Okay, so give me a few moments here. In fact, let me hit refresh here. Pretty soon you're going to see a cart right here for Allison. Okay, in fact, yes, ma'am.
I have several questions about carts,
Okay.
and I don't want to distract you. I don't want to get off topic here for you. Do you want me to ask them or not?
Let's save it till the very end, and then those who want to stay on might want to learn something new, and those who have to go can go, and then we can answer. How about that?
That's fine. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Because I love carts. Okay, I'm gonna hit all carts here real quick. Okay, still don't see that cart yet for Allison, but I'll check it here in a minute. But there should be another cart called Allison houses to show, and there should be 3 in there. Okay. So it's a really cool feature there. Let me go. Oh, watch this. Down here at the bottom, I've showed you the home button, and I showed you the more button. I haven't gone through the more button yet. Okay, so let me go back to the home button. But let me hit the search button. What this search button does, it takes you back where you left off. That's where I left off at. It's kind of like your have you ever used the remote control and you change the channel and it's like, oh man, how do I do that? I want to go back to the last channel I was just at. Well, you hit the channel recall button, right? That's what that search button is. It just takes you back to the last place. So if you went back to the home page and then you said, shoot, what was that search I was just doing? Well, just hit the search button and it takes you right back where you left off at. That's what that button is there for. Okay. So let me go back to that list of 9. If I tap on one, let me kind of show you what you see in here. What you can do is just kind of scroll through and look at all that green grass and beautiful house that has. We have, it's kind of starting to snow today, so I'm kind of missing the green grass already, and it just started. So I got a long winter ahead of me here. But as you do that, or you can just tap on that photo and you can see I'm on 13 of 18 photos. Now, if you've got your rotation, I'm going to turn my phone sideways here. If you got this turned on your cell phone, it could make the photo a little bigger, and then you can actually kind of zoom in and zoom out. That's a phone setting. So you're going to have to figure out how to turn that on there on your phone. But here it'll tell you your status, how many days on market it's been. There's 13 of 18 photos. There's how you save it as a favorite. Here's some real basic information on that property. Okay. Down here, I can hit share. So I can text it, email it, message it between me and another client who's installed my app. Okay. So I can share it back and forth, or I can copy the MLS number. Oop. I can set up a showing. See down here, that's the contact. I can see the listing agent, by the way. My client can't. So if I shared this with Allison, Allison can't see the listing agent. I can in my app, but she can't in her app there. But I can hit showing a request, and then I can set up a showing between me and the listing agent there. Here's add to cart. One click, I can see comparables. And if I hit search, it'll show me all the comps within 2 miles. And so here's the comps I've got. So I can hit list. There's my subject property, and there's some comps right there for me. So if I go back, I can change that to 3 miles or change this. I can even change it to on-market listings and see what kind of comparable properties I find on the market. There you go, 8 of them there. Okay. So whatever property you find, you have a comparable button right there. And then if you hit print, you can print it if you're connected to a printer there. Here's the map. Watch this though. When you hit directions, remember I'm in Grand Rapids, so watch this. It's going to tell me how long it's going to take me to drive there. So here we go. I always like this one. This one's fun. Only 19 hours and 48 minutes. And believe me, I've done that drive a few times too. So there you go. Right up here, if I hit MLS Touch, takes me right back out. So just imagine driving around town, maybe with your client, and hitting that button and say, hey, you know what? It's right around the corner. It'll take us right there. Private notes. Private notes are private. So if I leave notes here, it's just for me. No one else sees them here. So I can just leave little notes there. Here's some basic or general information on that listing. Property details, a little bit more. Here's features, a little bit more. More information, guess what that gives you? A little bit more, just a little bit. Look at that. Just there's not much more in there. Info for brokers. Okay. Realist tax data right there. Here's that tax data that I pulled up earlier. Mortgage estimator. Now your client will have this button here. They won't have realist tax. They won't have the info for brokers there, but they will have a little calculator here that you or them can play with and hit change and stuff there. They don't see broker remarks. You do, but they don't. And you see the listing agent and they don't. Okay. So that's a lot of the information you get to see on every property.
And a mortgage estimator, do they continually adjust the interest rates?
It does, but I think you can set it up too as your default.
Oh,
It's under the
perfect.
more button there. It's under the
Okay.
more button that you can go in and change it there. But
All right.
but we do periodically change this too out there. Right. Yeah, good point. Okay. Okay. That's a lot of stuff right there. I know we're almost out of time, so let's move forward here. If I hit contacts, like I said, these are all my contacts. If they have a first name, last name, and an email address, they will be in here too. Okay. I'm going to see, oh, duh. Remember, I'm not going to see Allison's cart. You know why? Allison doesn't have an email address. Because remember, Allison's not in my contact list. She doesn't have an email address. So let me go in. If this ever happens to you, you got a contact in the app, but you want them over here. But the problem is you don't have their email address. Well, watch this little trick. I'm going to give Allison an email address. Actually, look at that. Allison does have an email address. That's the trick. Give them an email address, say allison@noemail.com. And I bet, you know what? I bet Allison is over here. I bet she's an inactive contact. There she is right there. So Allison is in my contacts. It's just I need to make her active. That's why I wasn't seeing her. So my bad there. There is Allison now at no email. So whenever I see it, someone's email address and it says at noemail.com, I know right away I don't have her good email address. So whenever I talk to her, I might want to ask her, Allison, what's your email address? I can't email you because I don't know what your email address is. Okay. So now when I come out here, I should still see those carts there, shouldn't I? Let me go in here. See, I should have a cart for Allison. Okay. So I might need to wait till it updates there, but she will have a cart now. Okay. So look at this. Do you see right here 3 listings in 1 cart for Allison? So they're there. They will make it into Matrix. Okay. So here's my context. If I hit add up here, I can create a new contact, or look at this, I can import them from my cell phone. And watch this. I can pick Nicole Allen. I can pick Debbie Anderson. I can pick Gordon Andrews. And then when I hit done, those 3 will be in my contact list. And as long as they have a first name, last name, and an email address, guess what? They're going to be over here too. Okay. So it might take a few minutes to get there, but they will make it there. They'll be there. Okay. So you can add contacts. Now, how do you get a lead? Let me explain that in just a moment there. This is a very powerful tool you can use MLS Touch for. Okay. Before I get there, let me go to the More button down here. Let me show you where your photo comes from. Okay, and I really apologize for going a little bit longer than I expected because I know we're past the hour. If you do got to leave, just remember Renee's recording this. Maybe we can ask Renee later to send. You'll call her up and say, "Hey, can you send me a recording? I had to leave early. Keith was talking too much and went too long there." And I'm sure she can. And then you can just go right to the part you missed here. So this picture, you've got to do it inside of Matrix. It's under Input right here. It's under Input. And it's not the listing part. That's not where you go. You go to the roster part. That's where you go to add your photo. And see right here where it says MLS ID, you type in your user ID. Mine was just test user 2. That's my email, or that's my login. Then you hit edit. This right here is what you're going to do. You're going to go to manage photo. And then when you browse your computer, find your photo and then upload it. And then you're going to hit the save button. Once you upload your photo, and by the way, you can add 100 photos of yourself if you want to. But I'd only do one though, okay? Upload it and then hit save. Now what you're going to have to do is give it about 15 to 30 minutes. It just depends on the cycle, because this part doesn't update that often, but every 15 or 30 minutes. And then you're going to have to come into the More section and log out of MLS Touch and then log back in. When you log back in after that 15 to 30 minutes, you should see your photo in there. Okay. So that's something I would do whenever you get a chance. Upload your photo. And remember, it's under the Input tab there. Okay. Okay, so I'm still under the More button. Save searches, My Listings. I already showed you My Listings are right there. Okay. Brand and share. Let me come back to that one. Facebook publishing tool. What you can do, you can connect MLS Touch with your business page on Facebook. Not your Facebook page, but your business page on Facebook. Now, a lot of us already have a Facebook account. Okay, that's not what it can connect to. Facebook says it's got to be a business page on Facebook. The good news is it's free. So whenever you get time, go on to Facebook and maybe ask Facebook and say, hey, Facebook, how do I create a free business page? Okay. You can do it. It's rather simple. It'll ask you for your name, your company name, and ask for a picture, things like that. Well, once you got it set up, then you can come in here and connect it. And what it'll do, it'll automatically post your listings on your Facebook page and price changes of your listings, solds and open houses of your listings. And then as people go there, that's one way you can get a new lead. People can see you and they say, hey, I want to install your app on my mobile device. And then if they do, they'll come back in your contacts right here as a new lead. That's one way. Okay, that's one way, is if you connect it to Facebook there. Okay, let me go back to more. So that Facebook publishing tool is really cool. You got third-party integration. So if you click on this, you can see you can connect it to synchronize your contacts, your client's portal, and things like that. I think you should have everything check mark there. Okay, let's go to brand and share right here. When you go to brand and share, the first thing it'll do, it'll give you a little tutorial. You can read it if you want to, but then hit continue. And when you first come in here, you won't have anything set up, okay? What you might want to do is look at your presets right here. So when you look at the presets, these are the ones we give you. I think there's about 10 of them there, okay? They're one of the more popular ones, nationwide ones, okay? The thing is, most of us probably don't work for one of these companies, okay? If you do, you're lucky enough, you'll actually have your company in that list there, okay? And there you go. We'll have the color scheme and the logo. If your company's not in there, well, guess what? You're going to have to add it yourself. So when you add it yourself, you're going to click the select logo. Now, the question is, you got to have your logo on your cell phone, okay? If you don't, that's the first thing you got to do. You got to have someone email you the logo or text it to you or whatever. You've got to get it on that device that you've got MLS Touch on, okay? So when I hit this button, now you might want to close your eyes because you're going to see all my pictures on my cell phone here. So watch this. So when I hit it, hopefully there's nothing embarrassing on here. There's my husky. There's my office. I'm like halfway underneath her. She was peeking her head in the window there. But let me go to albums here. If I go over here, I got an album with CoreLogic on it. And I'm going to pick that logo right there. And when it opens it up, now I can zoom in or zoom out on it. So I'm going to get it just right there. And then I'm going to hit done right down there. Okay. Once you get your logo, now you can go through these color schemes here. If I hit the primary button, I can make it dark or bright or dark if I need to. Or I can go up to this RGB right here, red, green, blue, and I can adjust the colors this way. And okay, so whatever's easier. I mean, you can make it red if you like. Change it there. I am missing something. There's something on my phone I'm missing here. I don't know if it's the brightness or what on here. Yeah. I don't know where the OK button is. That's the weird thing is. Yeah, I'm missing it there somewhere. So I don't know what happened on my phone there. So
How about the done button?
yeah, I don't know where that's at.
Oh,
I mean, is it up here?
top right corner.
Top right. Oh, right there. Okay, that's it. For some reason, I don't see it. I mean, see right here?
Oh
You
yeah,
don't-
it's supposed to be right there on mine. It is on mine.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay. Okay. Huh, that's weird. I just don't see it on something up. Yeah, I don't see it there. So go through all three of these here and change your settings to what you want. You can always preview it and see what it looks like. Okay. But when you're done, you're going to hit apply colors. I don't want to apply colors because I like what I had before. So I'm just going to go back out and go back in. Okay, I didn't save it. So upload it, pick your colors, hit apply colors, and you can preview it at any time. Now, here's one way to share your app, and that's where I want to kind of finish this at. I want to show you how to share your app with clients. So bear with me. And if you're taking notes, you might want to write this down here, because there's two ways to do it. And it took me like 3 years to realize there was two ways to share your app with people. Okay, and I don't want you to waste 3 years or 2 years or whatever it was to find out the hard way that you were doing it the wrong way. So let me save you a lot of pain right now. Here's the question you ask yourself: is the person you want to share it with already in your contact list? Are they already here? If that's the answer, if your answer is yes, that person I want to share it with is already here. Let's say I want to share it with Allison. Oh, you know what? She's already here. So this is where I go to share my app with Allison. I click on her name, and right here, first, it'll tell me if I already have, and no, I've never shared it with her. If I want to share it with Allison, I tap on that right there, and I text it to her or I email it to Allison. And that is Allison's code. So remember, Larry, when you logged in, it was asking for a code. That's
Right.
what it was asking for right there. Okay.
Okay.
But notice Allison's code is this. If I go and pick someone else, let me pick Bob Smith. Well, first of all, I already shared it with Bob Smith 6 weeks ago, but maybe Bob needs me to resend it to him. That's fine. If I hit this, that is Bob Smith's code. If I go and I pick up Janelle Maxwell, well, first of all, I already shared it with her 10 weeks ago, but if I tap on it, I could send it back to her again, and that is her code. Because Janelle might say, hey, Keith, I had a new phone. I lost everything. What is that code to log into that app that you shared with me? Oh, Janelle, you're going to type in FA018EDD, okay? So that's the first way. If they're already in your contact list, go to your contact list, pick that client like Jerry Seinfeld, hit share my app, and then you're going to text it to Jerry or email it. And I'm going to pretend I'm Jerry for a second. So I'm going to text it to myself. So when I share this with my client, Jerry Seinfeld, let me show you what he gets here. He gets a link that says, "Dear Jerry, blah, 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 whatever." Click on that. And when he clicks on it, it takes him to the App Store. Open, yep. And Jerry needs to download that, okay? Now, what Jerry needs to do also, he needs to copy that code. So Jerry will take that code. He'll log into his MLS Touch app after it installs. Now, I've already installed this somewhere else, so let me reset this code. This is what they'll get when they first log in, just like Larry did when he did this. So what's your
Exactly.
code?
That's what I had.
Yep. So Jerry Seinfeld will type in his code, log in, and now he's in. Okay. So now if he goes to my agent, he sees my account, my test account. He sees my color scheme. Remember, I picked the orange and my logo there and all this stuff. So this is Jerry's stuff right now. So Jerry is in, and he's installed the app. Okay. Now, when I go back to Jerry's name here, it's going to tell me I shared it with him less than an hour ago right there. Okay. So Jerry has my app. So what if the question was no, the person I want to share it with is not in this list? Or I want to share it with the world. I want the whole world to know about my app because I want to get leads. I want people to know me and install my app. Well, guess where you go? You go to more. You go to brand and share. And then you say, share my app. You share this with the world. That code, that's a generic code. That is my code. I want anyone, if I'm out there telling people, download this app and type in that code, I will be their realtor. Larry, you're going to have a different code. Marsh and Gail and Gene and Tom and Kevin, you're all going to have your own code. So you're going to want to know what your code is. That's what it is. You know what some people do? Some people take, because that's just a website right there. That's MLS-client.com. That's a website. But then it's slash and your code. So some people go into their email, and you know how you have an email signature on the bottom of all your emails with your name, company, phone numbers, address, whatever. Some people type that code at the bottom of their email, and they say something like, download my free app, and they'll type in that website with that code. And you might want to actually say, make sure you enter this code when you install the app, okay? And if they do, they'll connect to you. So if I share that with someone, so let me share this now. Remember, the first time I shared it was with a client. I'm just going to share this with the generic code, 937-509-1474. Okay, because this code, remember that code there, that's my generic code. That's not Tom's or Jerry Seinfeld's or Allison's. That's a generic one there. So when I share this with people, let me show you what they get. They'll get that app, but that's the code they're going to use. They're still going to install the same app, MLS Client, okay? But look at that code down there. If they use that code, and let me kind of go back here. They use this code, and they install and then open the app. And let me log out. Let me reset this code here. Now, anyone who installs that app and they go to here and they type in that generic code, now we don't know who it is. Who are you? Well, what's your name? Larry, if you don't mind, I'll just type your name in here. Larry Meester. Okay. Phone number, I'll just give you my phone number and I'll just type in my email address for you. So Larry installs my app. Oop. Got to be a good email address. Oh, let me just do it. There we go. Oop, still didn't get that email address. Okay. Keith at noemail.com. Okay, there we go. So Larry, what did I do here? I still think I got, there we go. So now he got it, and now when I log in, I go to contacts. I should have a new lead here. Yeah, I think I did something wrong. I don't know what I did there, but I think you guys get the point. Larry's name should be in there. It should have a red badge as an indicator, and then I'll have, I'll have a new lead, Larry. And it's pretty cool. Okay. So 2 ways to install the app. First way is, are they already in my list? If they are, tap on their name and go to share my app and email or text it to them, and that is that person's code right there. The other way is with generic people you just met at the store today or whatever. You're going to go to the More button. You're going to go to Brandon Share. First things first, I'd make sure you have your logo and color scheme looking good. You can change it anytime, and then share your app, and that is a generic code. That's something I'd probably maybe write down on my business card, have it ready, and then give it to people and say, hey, go to this website address on your mobile device. It'll take you right to the App Store, and you can type in that code and log in there. Okay. Okay. Any other questions? I know Gene had a question on carts, I think it was. Okay. All right, Gene, what you got? Can't hear you.
Yeah, okay, I'm unmuting. I have a lot of carts. I like carts.
Yeah, me too.
I'd like to get rid of some of them because some of them are clients that, are no longer with me. So when I go to carts in my program, I've got maybe 50 carts in there. And I'd love I don't know how to delete them, how to get rid of them.
Yeah, watch this. Now, on this widget called carts, my carts, if you go, do you see right here where I'm pointing to all
Right.
carts? Okay, go to all carts and you should see all of your carts here.
I do.
Put a check mark there and hit delete and I'll get rid of Allison's.
Why didn't I see that? Let me.
I don't.
Oh, because that looks too easy. Hold
It
on.
is too easy. It's the ones that are right in front of our face that bites us that if we don't look at it. Those are the easy ones to miss. I miss them
I
all
was
the time
trying
too.
to delete some of the properties in the
Okay,
card.
and
I
let me
know
show
how
you.
to do that. I know how to do that.
Okay, so if there's 7 in Bob's cart, okay, maybe I put them in there because I was going to show them, but let's say I only went to 6 of them. Well, I need to get rid of the one I didn't show them because we
Yeah, I
never
know how
saw
to
it.
do that.
You do, okay. You check mark it, go to carts, and then you remove that one from Bob's cart there.
I'm gonna have to check. I can't believe it's that simple because I've say you go to carts on the
That's one place.
landing page
That's one place, yeah.
and you can delete from there or you
Yeah.
have to go.
Or you can go into your contacts, find who do I have as a cart? See right here, 3 carts. See Allison,
Right.
I can click on her name, then I can go to carts, then I can go to delete cart right there. That's another way.
That just makes me feel really stupid.
It's not until you're on national TV, then all of a sudden you get embarrassed like that. No, I'm joking. We're not on national TV, so no, that happens. Believe me. I ask the same question sometimes to my colleagues, and I was like, "Really? I didn't know that." And it's like, "Well, I feel stupid." So,
Okay.
anything else, anyone? Hi Marcia. If you want your logo instead of the photo, do you simply pick the logo under the matrix input? Yeah. So Marcia, I believe you were saying right here, see where it says TA1 or the more button, either one you tap on, how I've got that photo there. If I want my company logo instead of my photo there, and I don't blame you, I like that too. So if I go to input right here and I type in my code, then you're absolutely right. Instead of my photo here, you're going to upload your company logo there. Actually, you can actually do both there. So I could upload my picture and my company logo. It's just that whichever one is first in the primary slot, that's the one that's going to show there. So what you can do is periodically rotate them, flip them around there. But if you know right away you want only your logo there, then absolutely. As long as it's the main photo, it will show up here. Right. Good question there. Anything else?
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Are
Always
you gonna do this again? Because there was a lot of information in there.
I understand. I'm sure we will sometime. We have like different topics every month, so it might be like 6 months from now when we do. But one, Renee could send you the recording. I'm speaking on her behalf here. I'm assuming she will. So she can send you the recording. That way you can watch it again and play with this here. But I also come into town, I think December 19th or 20th or 21st. I forget what day that Wednesday is. I do in-person training class. And one, you can always stop in
I'm
there.
gonna be in Kansas.
Oh no. And I'm going to be in Florida. So, well, guess what? I'll be back in January again.
Okay, perfect.
So you can always stop in. And even if you don't take the class, just stop in right before or right after one of my classes there and then ask, Wednesday the 20th. That's what it is there. Yeah, and then just ask me, or just shoot me an email, or ask Renee, and Renee will give you my email address, or give me your email address, and I'll contact you if you have questions. So out there, okay. Yeah, so you're not alone. Just play with it as much as you can. If you forget it, just reach out and we'll answer your questions there. Biggest thing is start playing with it. Okay. All right. Yeah. Wednesday, December 20th, we have a 101 class in the morning. The first hour is always rules and regulations. So unless you're a new member, I don't think you really need that part. But from 10 to noon, we have a really good basic introduction out there. And then we either have a 201 or a 301 class. It's 301 this month in December. And I can't remember what we talk about in 301. But anyways, it's always good stuff. So hope to see you guys in person there sometime. All right. Well, thanks everyone. Thanks, Renee. And hope to see you
Thank you
soon.
very much.